Boom. So, game of the week is the Demons and the Dragons, and I got the Scorpions, Rhinos, and the Demons here with me. We're going to do a quick look at the game of the week. Demons, we got him here, so we got to ask him. Eric Watson, now he's playing for the Dragons, and the Demons are going to the Dragon Stadium, and the Dragons have never looked better, and the Demons had a phenomenal season last season, and now are coming back real strong, 4-2, going on the road against these Dragons against Eric Watson. How do you feel about that?
Eric Watson's not a demon anymore. Eric Watson had a great run as a demon. He set a record in season 5, obviously won championship season 3, but it's time to move on. And Demons are honestly playing some of their best football that they've ever played since playing with our younger roster here. So, I'm happy Eric Watson's doing so well, but it doesn't matter the Demons right now.
Yeah, Eric Bell gets to play against. I'm sure in the Demon Stadium, there's lots of Eric Watson posters of season season 3, and he's going against his the guy that everyone looked up to. So I'm really excited about that game anyway. The Dragons playing phenomenal, Demons are playing phenomenal, and it's game of the week. And the Dragons, um, they have a phenomenal defense, obviously. With a lot of young players in their secondary, and their defensive line is looking phenomenal. Their linebackers are amazing. I don't think George Mosley gets enough love, so I got to give him a shout out. And I think that Albert Mainer's having an amazing season, and I expect the Dragons at home to put on a really good show against these Demons. And the Demons are coming off a loss. Let's take a quick look at the Demon stats here. But they have been really promising. They actually have been gone down to the wire in almost every game. Almost every game has gone right down to the wire. They won one in overtime for a kick return. They won one with no time on the clock. They lost one with no time on the clock. They lost one with a kick right at the end to the, or it wasn't a kick, it was actually a touchdown to the Piranhas last week. But the Demons have been looking really, really strong. So yeah, what do you think, Rhinos? What's your thoughts on the game of the week for the Dragons and the Demons?
Well, yeah, Eric Bell. I mean, he's one of those guys that he gets it done when he needs to. But with the Piranhas game, I mean, the Piranhas haven't had the greatest season, but they seem to have done something right. They got him down to 96 QBR, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 INTs. So Eric Bell can't be throwing INTs for this game against the Dragons because they got some guys back there, young but still hungry for the ball. So it's hard to say. If Crowder gets going, the Demons have a chance in this game. But if he doesn't, sorry, Demons, you already know the Dragons are going to win. So as long as they can find a way to keep Crowder from doing the things that he does, and if they can get Bell to go somewhere else, hey, it's up in the air. It's up in the air, man. It's so hard because on the Dragon side as well, they've been a team that's just been out of nowhere coming out strong. They're 4-1. Man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I almost don't even want to say it, but I'm gonna have to go Dragons on this one. I think the Dragons got the edge in this one. Yeah.
Oh, no hard feelings. They're at home. I get it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's another topic of road wins and home wins. But I mean, I just think Eric Bell's got to show me a little bit more. I think the Dragons are definitely coming in there to win this game, and they think they're going to win this game, and they've got the tools to neutralize the Demons. It's just that the Demons have everything else. So it's really hard to judge right now, man. But that's just what I think. If you gave me my personal opinion, I think the Dragons will win this game, but not by much.
I'm gonna go with the Demons just to give the other flip of the coin, and I truly think that the Demons have a more established offense, better receivers. But Eric Watson has been playing really, really good, and it's hard not to go with the home team. But the Demons are coming off a loss, and I think that they're more hungry, and I think that the Dragons might be a little bit too comfortable. At 5-1, and I think that the Demons might give them a bit of a reality check and test them. It's going to be a good test for both those teams actually, because both the teams haven't really played a top 3 team, and I consider these two teams a top 3 team, and whoever wins this game will be a top team because they're either going to have the same record and the other team will have the edge on them, or the Dragons could go 6-1. So that's really cool to see too. Is there any? We'll take a look at the who you got for the week here, and the who you got. We got Dragons and Demons, Vipers and Bears, Werewolves and Cobras, Scorpions, Blue Jays, Rhinos and Tigers, Piranhas and Wolverines, Wildcats and Monsters, Gorillas and Gators. So before you pick the Rhinos and Tigers game, do you got any other lock of the week, Rhinos?
Lock of the week, yeah, the Rhinos.
Do you got any other?
That's 5-1 against 0-6. I think that's a lock of the week.
Yeah. Do you got any other one though?
I mean, I could go elsewhere, but why would I?
Well, just for this, if there is any other game, what other game do you think would be a lock of the week?
Wildcats, Monsters, Wildcats.
Yeah, you think there's no way the Wildcats are losing at home to the Monsters?
No.
Dragons,
Monsters, they're sneaky, but not that sneaky. We can't pull a win out of the Wildcats. No way.
You got one, Dragons? Or you got one, Demons? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking the other red team when you said Dragons.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's the lock of the week is Rhinos. The Rhinos Tigers. I mean, if you're going for the safe pick there.
Yeah. Can you think of a different one? Do you have another one?
3-3 Vipers, 2-4 Bears, 3-3 Werewolves, 3-3 Cobras, like 3-3 Scorpions gets 3-3 Blue Jays. How do you call any of those games a lock? Yeah, it's too.
It's tough.
Too close.
Do you
Gators
think
over Gorillas?
Yeah,
would be. I'll take Gators over the Gorillas as my lock of the week.
I was gonna say Gators over the Gorillas. Do you think the Gorillas really have that much of a chance to beat the Gators at home? It's possible. They have a win. They played well against the Vipers last week. They didn't get smoked by any means.
It's tied too. It's tied right now for the who got.
What do you think?
My lock's Gators over Gorillas. I don't think the Gators are losing to that.
What's your Scorpions?
I mean, if I'm gonna pick a lock, I would go with the Wildcats Monsters game. Obviously, besides the Rhinos Tigers game, that's obviously number one lock.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Rhinos are winning that game. If they don't, it's a rough day. But yeah, I would have to go Wildcats just because they're at home over the Monsters. The only reason I can't really say I'd lock the Gorillas Gators in is because Gorillas are at home. And it can go any way in any of these games, to be honest.
I'm gonna go just for something cool to go with the Vipers and Bears. Yes, the Bears, they don't want to hear this, but I'm gonna go the Vipers are a lock over the Bears. The Bears have been looking bad. They just bounced back last week, but I think this week they're gonna get crushed by the Vipers, who also have been struggling this week, who looked great last week, and I think this is a big bounce back game for the Vipers. And they're going to get back on the road and get back on the horse here at home against the Bears, and put the Bears back in the losing column and give them their 5th loss of the season. I'm going with the Vipers for a lock just to see if we can get some juice going.
Well, honestly, that's
not really a lock, though, right? You're just trying to stir up controversy.
I mean, that would be my number 3 pick with the lock. Honestly,
that's right.
That's my number 3. Gators and Gorillas would be 4th on the list for me.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, for the Bears' sake, I'd say that they at least the Harris had a good game. He had 127.1 QBR, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns with only 1 interception. I mean, that's a pretty good game for Harris. If he keeps that up, I mean, that's not bad at all.
Another really cool
And he
game.
beat the Monsters last week too, so.
Another really cool game I'm really excited to see this week is the Werewolves. I know they're playing the Cobras, but the Werewolves, I'm really excited to watch them at home as they have 2 brand new receivers. They traded Seth Spence away, and now they and then they traded Greg Jackson away. So Craig Jackson went to the Gators,
Right?
and
Shane Antwine.
for Shane Antwine, and get this,
Idaho either.
and then he traded Seth Spence to the Rhinos and got Alan Dwight. So the trade for Alan Dwight and Seth Spence.
That's a deadly combination right there.
Alan Dwight.
And Antwine.
Alan Dwight and Antwine, they were traded for each other, and now they're on the same team.
Now they're pissed.
And they're on the Werewolves
Alan
team.
Dwight and Antwine. Oh, Antwine was traded for Tony Miller, cornerback.
Or Tony Miller, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, they're traded. Both those players were traded, and now they're on the same team
that,
here.
Johnny, because I made that video about the fine wine.
That's right.
A
But that was when my
classic fine
game was
juice.
peaking. That was the jokes haven't been as good since.
But that one topped the cake, man. It was great.
The whole season to think about that one.
Yeah, no, it's true though. Is there any other games of the week for who you got? You guys want to talk about?
There is one I'd want to talk about for the who you got.
Go ahead.
Where's that? Monsters. In that game, who they play? The Monsters are playing the Wildcats. So, Johnny, if you're gonna watch this game, which I know you are, I know everybody in the league is going to be watching to see if Rick Norton can repeat that performance again. Rick Norton, for the Monsters, had a monster game. 9 receptions for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wow. So, that's going to be interesting to see. I want to see if he can do that again. And mind you, Rick Norton did that against a Bears defense who love to talk about their defense. So he's going to be going up against a much stiffer defense, but I would like to see if Rick Norton can put up those kind of numbers again.
Want to know, though, the Wildcats' defense this season? You don't really look at the Wildcats and think defense, but this year, their defense is, you got to watch out for it. Got some pretty good stats. I think they're top in turnover differential, or close to it, and they don't let a lot of yards up. At Wildcats, I know they're known for offense, they're known for receivers and Pat Hall, but watch out for their defense this year. If someone's going to stop Rick Norton, it's going to be them.
The Wildcats have a total defense. They're third for total defense. Rush defense, they're third, and pass defense, they're fourth. So in the top 5 for all the defensive statistical categories. So that's that's a no-brainer right there. It's going to be tough, but hey, he did it last week against the Bears. So if Rick Norton if he goes even over 100 yards, to me that's a victory. That's a victory.
I mean, you talked about the Scorpions game. We got them here. Scorpions and Blue Jays.
Give me 1 second. I will say something. Just give me 1 second.
I mean, it's at home for the Scorpions. I can't remember if they're 0-3 at home or 3-0 at home. I know that they're
3-0 at home, 0-3.
Yeah. Craziness.
For who you got the Scorpions that if they're at home on that.
Yeah. So.
That's funny, man.
All right. Sorry, my dog's drinking water. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. So yeah, I was gonna say something about that just because I saw John's video earlier about that, and I was like, yeah, they're 3-0 at home. But in my who I picked was all the home teams except for the Gators Gorillas. I did pick the Gators, but yeah, I literally picked every home team. So sorry, Demons.
That's right. Rhinos are against me too.
It was just a tough week.
Always
Pick pick games except for, I mean, the Rhinos Tigers was probably the easiest one to pick, but it was honestly a tough week, so I went with all home except for the Gators Gorillas because Gators are flying this year and Gorillas are not. So
This
that's all
is
I
a
really
really
wanted to
good
say.
games though. There's so many even matchups. This is going to be a make or break week for the league. A lot of teams are going to separate this week. There's 23-3 teams. And you really got to start thinking playoffs. We're almost hitting the midpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. Wins are very, very hard to come by, and they're going to get harder. But I know the Scorpions must have confidence in Gene Ingram because he played a phenomenal game last week. 123.5 QBR, 337 yards, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. For that kind of production in the game against the Gators defense, of all defenses, I mean, I'm going with the Scorpions for sure. Record or no record. Ingram starts playing like that, that's scary. And I've seen him play like that, unfortunately, against me as well.
He has his games. He's on and off, honestly, because I think it was either the Vipers or the Gorillas. I can't remember which game it was, but he had probably his worst game ever this season, or ever in the CSFL. He had like 2 or 3 interceptions. It was bad. And Matthews carried my team to the win. So it was the Vipers. It was the Vipers because Matthews had like 224 yards or something like that game, and then Ingram had like 2 or 3 interceptions. It was bad. I remember Johnny in the stats hovering over Genie Ingram's like 23 quarterback rating or something for a little while, and I was like, get off that. Don't worry about that.
Move on to the next page, Johnny. Come on.
Yeah. Let's look at the running back.
But yeah, other than that, what other games are interesting? I don't know if we got any more time, but
I'm back. I'm back now, guys. Sorry, I had to put the boy down. He fell asleep in my arms. I'm just cycling through the games here. Yeah, all the games look really good. I'm really excited about the Vipers and Bears game. Obviously, the Dragons and Demons game. The Werewolves and Cobras. Werewolves because they got such a new arsenal and they're at home. I'm really curious how Miller, the quarterback's, gonna do because I'm really gonna start harping on Brian Miller, the quarterback there, because he's been playing there for a few seasons. They haven't won a playoff game. He just doesn't seem like, what they need someone more explosive at that position. I really feel like the Werewolves are great on defense, great running game with Chris Jones. Now they got great receivers. If this doesn't work now, you got to kind of start looking at the quarterback here. So I'm excited about that. Actually, both these teams, Werewolves and Cobras, have a bit of a quarterback issue and have 4 seasons to come.
can I add something to that real quick? Brian Miller, he's 26. So he's 26, rated 99. He's got all the good intangibles the quarterback needs. He's got 96 awareness, which is big, but he lacks huge agility. He lacks huge speed. And he's 26, so it's a decision the Werewolves are going to have to make eventually. But, I mean, he's not young and he's not old, so it's hard, right?
The Werewolves have the number 1 rated defense. Oh, what was that, Demon? Sorry?
You're really just hitting your stride at 26.
Yeah.
It takes a few years to get
up
that high.
For sure it does.
I mean, we've said it before, too, like the overall doesn't always show everything. He could be, like, my quarterback, Will Brooks, my rookie last season, every time I play him in the preseason, he just is trash. And that's why he hasn't played. He looks like complete garbage, but he was rated 99 after his first season.
Yeah.
But every time I play him, even in the preseason, I'm sure the Demons play some backups to see what they look like, some rookies and stuff. So even in the preseason, when it's not, everybody starting, he still looks like shit. So
but still,
there's
Scorpions, you got to check. You got to check what team you're playing and what defense they were using. He might not be comfortable in that defensive set. You might have some holes. He might be pressured. So it's
Regardless-
not always a quarterback, but mostly it is.
Regardless,
I understand that, but
that preseason game that Will Brooks played, where I was at home, was some wind in that one, and neither quarterback could throw.
mm,
It was it doesn't happen much in the CSFL, but there was I thought that was a very unusual game for both teams because of that.
okay.
and
I
regardless,
know you love Ingram, Scorpions. Ingram is very good, but Will Brooks is 24 and
I
he's
know.
99 already.
Oh, I know. He's gonna eventually make playing time. I just right now I think Ingram is playing better, so that's why he's in, and he's gonna keep starting until he's not playing better than Will Brooks,
True.
from what I see.
Ingram's a
So
Hall of Famer.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. He's the GOAT, in my opinion. He is literally the greatest of all time quarterback. He's won 2 championships.
True.
He's got tons of records. He's on my team, and I may be biased, but I think he's the greatest of all time in the CSFL right now.
No, he's up there. He's up there. I agree.
He's one of those
absolutely
veterans
is.
that consistently done it.
Yeah.
All the other ones.
He's like the Todd Brady of the CSFL.
Exactly.
yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, he is the greatest of all time, by far. Yeah.
Having Will Brooks there waiting in the wings is not a bad thing. If he doesn't pan out, you can always draft someone else.
Yeah, Will
Well,
Brooks.
no, I just drafted another rookie this year because the number 1 quarterback rookie, because he was just sitting there in the 5th round or something. The last round,
Mark
so I was
Andrews.
swooping him. But yeah,
Mark Andrews, yeah.
I mean, Will Brooks is definitely my number 2. He's probably going to get the start after Ingram retires, because I'm keeping Ingram.
And he'll
until he
probably
retires.
he'll be the best quarterback you got because he's got way more agility than Ingram, and he's faster than Ingram and Andrews.
Oh yeah, of course. And then Andrews will be there just in case Will Brooks is just throwing interceptions all the time, just in case. I'm getting it set up. I'm using Ingram until he's not the better quarterback, from what I see, and he is still the better quarterback.
And the good thing about it is that you got a lot of receivers to throw to
Yes.
help him out.
I'm liking Luis Sherman, and I'm hoping he progresses a bit so that I'll have 2 good receivers, real good receivers. I'm hoping, because I'm liking Sherman over Tupea right now. Tupea is my number 3 at the moment, which he plays well, but I'm just liking Sherman better. I like him over at that number 1 spot.
But yeah,
Just your quarterback. You're talking about how you Andrews just fell to you. The same thing happened to me with Eric Bell. He was the top-rated quarterback in our draft, and I got him at the top of the 2nd round when he was drafted that year.
And a lot of people were looking for quarterbacks kind of at that point, I believe, as well. I mean, not really, because we saw all the veterans, but people were kind of looking into quarterbacks at that point, and you got them in the top of the 2nd, which was nice.
Cough, Cobras.
Unexpected.
I actually was not even looking to get another quarterback, but when I saw him there at the 5th, the top-rated quarterback, even though he was an older one compared to the 18-year-old ones that were there, I'm like, whatever, I'll take him and hold him.
Quarterbacks
Just in
play
case.
10+ years anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Will Brooks literally sat on the bench and went from 91, I think it was, or 93, whatever, to 99, and sat on the bench.
That's crazy. So you know what? He's gonna eventually be your best quarterback.
I believe so too, but he just needs to get over his interceptions because he was throwing at least 2 every single game he's played. Even if it was preseason, he literally threw at least 2 every single game, and that's just not cutting it. Not gonna cut it at all.
there's a lot of 99 overall players that are bad, that aren't good. So it's just the way the league is. And look at an 81 overall rookie quarterback for the Monsters comes in rookie and lights it up. So
Well, isn't that the same thing with what's up, Demons?
Sorry, the quarterback for the Monsters, or I'm thinking of the Tigers. No, never mind. The Monsters, is the quarterback for the Monsters, is he winning games?
He won one and lost one, but he won. He was in the lead in the fourth quarter, I believe, and then lost at the end and was killing it all game. Like he had a really good rating. I think he has like over 80% completion rating and 3-0 and like he was dominating, man.
And you guys
Corey
wouldn't
Moore
believe
is-
what his awareness is. He's got 67 awareness.
Mhm.
He's an
Well,
81
and he-
overall. 81 overall. All he did was throw it to Nick Norton. He just threw it at
Yeah.
Nick Norton, and Nick Norton just ripped it out of the sky every play. It was Nick Norton is actually a ex Viper. He used to be a Viper that the Vipers released him as a receiver, and they picked him up. He just went to their team, and now he's lighting it up. A little revive of his career. Yeah.
Didn't Corey Moore his rookie season do like the same thing as Serge Robinson is doing? He like had 88 completion or 80% completion like all the time. He
Yeah.
didn't throw it a lot, but he was killing it.
Yeah, he was 85 overall, I believe. Corey Moore.
Oh,
was.
85. Okay.
I want to say he was an 85 overall.
Sounds about right.
This guy's an 81. It's
Yeah.
awesome to see. It's awesome to see. And they traded their running back now, PJ. He was coaching the Piranhas last season, and now he's got the Monsters. And great kid. He's putting in great game plans every week and competing. And I'm excited to play him this week. And he traded his running back away, and now he got a new running back in from the Rhinos. And he started him last week. I'm assuming he might start him again this week because he had a good game. They're what's the running back that you traded him? What's his name again? Leon Jackson, is it?
Yeah, he had a good game last game. It was kind of rough. He was playing a tough defense, so hopefully he'll get a second chance at it and show what he can do.
He's not playing an easier defense this week in the 4-2 Wildcats, and they're at home. But we'll see what he can do, man. So I'm excited to see Serge Robertson, man. But yeah, besides that, that's.
So yeah. I got one more thing to add, fellas, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I had a couple ideas for pretty much player of the week. A couple honorable mentions. I didn't really pick one yet, but I had a couple honorable mentions for you guys to consider. So one, I had Eric Watson for his performance. 152 QBR, 379 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I had Gene Ingram on my list. Gene Ingram, for what we already talked about, he did great game. Darius Henson is something nobody's talking about for his 8 receptions, 253 yards, 2 touchdown game. Amazing, Darius Henson.
Wow.
Yeah, he
And
burned.
Rick Norton, of course, for what the game, Rick Norton had 6 receptions, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, the list, I had like Alonzo Atkins because he had 3 touchdowns, 132 QBR, 236 yards, and who else? Solomon Briggs of the Monsters, because Serge Robinson was passing to Solomon Briggs. 6 receptions, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. So those are some of the names I had for player of the week, because there's so many guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was.
253 receiving
But if
yards.
you would narrow it down, I would
Yeah.
go Darius Henson and Rick Norton, man. I've never seen those guys just went off, bro.
Yeah, Randy Dorsey also had 4 catches, 3 touchdowns, over 150 yards or something like that too. Was an honorable mention, and Rick Norton had a phenomenal game as well. Just absolutely dominated all game. But I gotta give it to the Gators. The Gators receiver Darius Henson over 250 yards.
I have to scratch my
100%.
head, yo.
And he won the game to bring the Gators to 5-1, and it was on the game of the week in the Friday Night Lights at home against the Scorpions, who are no joke as well. So that was a really big game against Darius Henson. They just could not stop him. He just was lighting it up.
No, and I told the Gators about him, like, yo, Darius Henson, for like 2 seasons, he's been fighting for that number 1 spot. And soon as there was some wiggle room, and soon as the Gators made some moves, Darius Henson stepped right up in there, and he's like, I'm number 1. And I think the Gators realized that he's number 1.
Cool thing about Darius Henson actually is that he was drafted by the Gators, and as a rookie, he actually in his rookie season brought them to the championship game in season 2. He was drafted in season 2, and he brought them to the championship game. He had the incredible game against the Piranhas in the semifinals where he had 4 catches at the final drive to go down there to field goal range to beat them. So Darius Henson, he's a legend from the Gator Stadium, and he had another legendary performance last week against the Scorpions. So yeah, definitely player of the week for sure. What was the upset of last week? What was the crazy upset of last week? Do we remember? The Piranhas beating the Demons. I would have to say is no one saw that coming, and the Piranhas played that one pass. That one pass, I believe it was to Chris Patterson on the bottom right corner. That J Bomber threw right at the end, near the end of the game. I believe it was. They went back and forth quite a few times. It was just an absolute insane catch where it was just like, how the heck did he catch that ball? And as soon as I saw that, I was like, man, the luck's really going the Piranha's way. And they actually got the ball with a little bit of time left and got down there and were able to score a touchdown. And then the Demons ended up turning it over.
And last play of the game.
On the last play of the game, I thought they were going to come back and tie it up. And man,
you got to play, and there's time on the clock. You always got a chance at CSFL.
Always.
Hail Mary didn't make that time.
Always, but it was Marcus Moore, who I believe is the greatest defensive back in CSFL history, next to Alex Campbell. Alex Campbell obviously is the greatest because he has the playoff runs and the defensive touchdown and the playoff in the championship game and yada yada. He's amazing, right? But Marcus Moore for the Piranhas, I don't know. I think he has the record for most interceptions, like, ever.
His name's come up before. I think he's got something like that, yeah.
He is just insane. It seems like Marcus Moore just constantly gets interceptions ever since he got into this league. I remember he had that huge interception in the playoffs that actually won them the championship game, the Piranhas, when they beat the Vipers. It was a really crazy play that Marcus Moore jumped up and tipped the ball in the end zone, tip play, and ended up causing an interception. And Marcus Moore has been just a legend ever since. The Piranhas are really struggling defensively. Their offense has been lighting it up, though, with the new quarterback, Jay Balmer, in there. But their defense has really been struggling for sure.
I'm going to have to look back and see which draft class Marcus Moore actually came out of. Because if he came out of the same one Alex Campbell did, there was only 2 in that draft class that were actual diamonds.
No, Alex Campbell's definitely older. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Alex Campbell actually came from the Blue Jays. He's originally a Blue Jay that was traded to the Vipers. And then from the Vipers got traded for Keel McDowell.
I still feel it, but I'm happy.
In a 4-way tie for league record with interceptions. 3 players had 6 interceptions last year. Marcus Moore is one of them. The other player that has 6 interceptions is Aaron Sellers on the Cobras in season 2.
Right.
There was only 10 teams. He got 6 interceptions.
Wow, that was crazy season.
That's an overlooked stat, I think, right there, is how good a season 2 Aaron Sellers had.
Yeah, for the Cobras. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, they finished with the second best defense that year. That was a big reason why. Obviously, Aaron Sellers. And I remember Aaron Sellers. No one really was a big fan of Aaron Sellers. I'm pretty sure Rhinos traded him away, and we didn't like Aaron Sellers. Most people didn't because he was really slow. He was like below 90 speed, I believe he was. I think he's like 87 or 88 speed as a corner, and he proved everyone wrong. And they put him in, I think, at like 3rd in the slot, or I can't remember where they started him, but he just absolutely dominated that season, man, and got the Cobras really far. But yeah, he's got the record at 7. Is it? You said tied the record at 7.
Aaron Sellers, Marcus Moore, and 2 others have 6 interceptions. That's the record.
As a record, yeah. Marcus Moore is an absolute legend, man. He really is it for a young player. He's gonna be up there, man, with most interceptions ever by the time he's done. Um, in my opinion, the Piranhas might have the best defensive back in the league. One of the best defensive backs,
Arguably.
arguably. Oh, for sure, for sure they do though. They really do.
There's
Really
always
do.
an argument for everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I say Ingram's the GOAT, but there's probably arguments for that for sure.
Although that's pretty slam dunk. There's no other team to ever win it twice. Never mind a player, quarterback win it twice. That's pretty insane.
Watson wins it season 8. Maybe we're having that discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's two different sides of the ball
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah,
It's a huge.
if Eric Watson brings it all the way and wins it with the Dragons, absolutely. Then he'll have an
Mhm.
argument the same as
I
Gene
still think
Ingram.
it's Ingram though. Even with that, Ingram has been more like this. In any Ingram, no one's done it as long and as well as Ingram has.
Yeah, and he set all those records, man. That's huge, man. That's like he's got literally like the triple crown for quarterbacks of like you know rings.
I agree, he's pretty consistent, but he always doesn't seem to hit that next level in his game. He always gets that same average amount of yards, same average amount of touchdowns, and never really.
He hasn't won one yet, has he? Reeves?
No. Darius
Oh.
Darius Henson actually was his receiver as a quarterback, as a rookie. I mean, as a rookie, should I say?
Wow.
When Darius Henson was a rookie, he was getting the ball caught by Eric Reeves, and he went all the way to the championship game and lost in overtime. Eric Reeves lost in overtime in the
That's right.
championship game. That's how close he was to winning, and he's
Wow.
yeah, against Jeannie Ingram, by the way, his hated rival. So these guys hate each other, right? And what was I gonna say about Eric Reeves? And Eric Reeves has been 0-4, I believe. He's 0-4 in the playoffs ever since he's been a Blue Jay, because the Blue Jays are 0-4 in the playoffs, or 0-5 maybe, and he's 0-4 with them because they lost season 1 too. The Blue Jays have never won a playoff game. Ever.
Ouch.
Yeah. And they're an original team.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's got to change.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I would literally lose my top if that was me.
Yeah.
Is the video still going on right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
But yeah, I'll end the video though on that note.
That's what happens when you got a room full of champions. A room full of champions is what happens.
Oh, this is good stuff though. If anyone misses out on it, they could listen in on this. But yeah, no, this is our look at week 7, man. It's gonna be a good week, and we're halfway through. The trade deadline's coming up this Wednesday, so teams will be locked in, and we're gonna be ready for the second half of the season, and that's when it starts getting serious.
Get ready,
So
Tiger.
I was gonna say, now that the video's off, what's up with the Blue Jays? Like, do they